Alrighty, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Um, well, we've had, since we've last spoken on a live stream, we've had quite the move here. The 73-25 failed breakdown that we had on, now what day was this? This was Wednesday after the close. Um, we are now have run up the gauntlet quite well from it. Almost 350 points straight up from that failed breakdown in just a couple of sessions. So um, yeah, it definitely quite a move, and if you're able to catch that failed breakdown Wednesday afternoon and hold the runner, then you've been able to capture the entirety of this move, and have been able to sit on a runner since then. So that's awesome to see if you've done that. Um, in terms of just pure price structure, we've actually done some great things just technically here. We were in a little bit of like a macro flag. We went below the flag, reclaimed, put in a little field to break down of the flag, hit top of the flag, broke out, and then Friday dipped back into the flag, put in a quick trap, and then continued the real breakout. And so since Friday afternoon, we've just been in this breakout mode, and are now hundreds of points higher here with Bulls having retained full and all control, and we're headed back here, I think close to all-time highs. I don't know what all-time highs. Yeah, close enough. I mean, 739 is the all-time high here on ES. So we're getting close back into the all-time high territory. So sort of like Adam's famous mantra, as as readers know, this is probably going to be the worst time to put on any new trades, just in terms of the environment. There, to see a failed breakdown, we need to see a little bit of red. We need to see deep elevator sell downs, and we're just not going to get that with the environment we're in now. So that's going to mean a lot of extra being patient and hand holding, and not necessarily seeking out trades as often. If we get lucky with an elevator sell down, that's great. The first real great setup from here down is actually at 75, 42, 49, which would be this failed breakdown of the shelf here, where we broke out of yesterday. From there isn't a ton. I mean, maybe there's some lower quality stuff at 76.39 as first down support if you wanted to play maybe the sweep here of the 5 a.m. low at 32 plus recovered 39. But again, have to understand the quality meter with that is not going to be super high in terms of what we would probably see. So just that's just unfortunately what we're going to be at here. So if you're in a runner, awesome. I would say continue holding that runner, and try to milk out the gains with that risk free as possible. And if you're flat heading into this week, when we have an environment like this where you gap up and then trend and break out of some macro structure plus a massive range we've been in, you just kind of know going into the week that, hey, this isn't going to be the most apt environment for day trading this week, and that's okay, right? I mean, every day, every week in trading is not created equal. So last week was a great week. The week before that was very tradable. So sometimes it just you go through different phases and alterations, and I think the longer and longer you trade, the more you'll see that, where there will just be weeks where there's just so many trades and so many opportunities, and then you'll go through weeks and sessions where there's isn't a ton to do. And if you trade or you're in this game long enough, you will see the full gauntlet of everything. So just important to kind of be able to pick up on those cues. So yeah, like I said, first real high quality failed breakdown down would be 75, 49, 42 shelf. And if you're desperate or really wanting to try something, then you can maybe take a look at the 76.39 spot, if we can sweep that 5 a.m. low and reclaim 39. So that's kind of what I have for you guys today. like I said, hopefully a lot of you guys are in a runner. If not, it's okay. New opportunities will come. You just have to be a little extra patient this week. This week, like I said, probably won't be the greatest trading week, but it is what it is. We're in August. We'll get a huge spike in volatility again, definitely. In September. So we're not that far off. Even if the next couple of weeks do end up being some all-time high chop or consolidation. So with that, we will see you guys in the Discord, all right? Take care, everyone.